Welcome to Alphanumeric Tricks. In this video, we are going to see about the vectors. This comes under the topic matrices. Now we are going to see what is vectors. Vectors are very commonly used in many branches of higher mathematics, especially in engineering and applied sciences and also physical sciences. A vector is represented by a directed line segment, that is the vector should have magnitude and the direction. We will show this with this graph. Consider the x-axis and the y-axis, and the vector starts from O and ending with the point P of x comma y. Here it goes to the direction, this direction O to P it goes. Now OP vector is uniquely determined by the point x comma y. That is, OP vector is uniquely determined by the point x comma y. Therefore, the ordered pair x comma y of real numbers represents uniquely the vector OP vector. Okay. Therefore, it should represent the vector OP vector, that is the ordered pair x comma y uniquely represent the OP vector. For example, consider the unit vector along the x-axis is 1, 0 and y-axis is 0, 1. This is the ordered pair we are using for x-axis and the y-axis. Now we will define what is vectors. An ordered set of n numbers is called n vector or vector of order n. Okay, that is n numbers are called the n vector or vector of order n. Okay, and the n numbers are called the components or elements of the vector. We call that elements are the x is equal to x1, x2, x3, etc. up to xn. This is 1 by n matrix. This is a row vector and these are the elements. Okay, and here we have 1 rows and n columns, therefore 1 by n vector. Now consider another example. X is equal to x1, x2, etc. up to xn. Here we have n rows, x1, x2, etc. n rows and 1 column, therefore it is 1 by 1 vector. Now this is called the row vector and this another one, this example is called the column vector, and this all the elements are 0, then it is called the a 0 vector. Okay, if all the entries or elements are 0, then it is called the 0 vector. Next we will see vectors over F. Okay, the components belonging to a field F is said to be over F. The components belonging to the field F is said to be over F, and vectors over a field, okay, that is the over F, and the vectors over a field of real numbers is called the real vector. Okay, the vectors over the field of real numbers is called the real vector. Okay, now we will see what is n vector space. The set of all, what is n vector space? The set of all n vectors over the field F is denoted by Vn of F and is called the n vector space. Okay, now the elements of the field F is called the scalars. All the elements and the field F is called, that is the field F is called the scalars relatively to the vector space. Now we will see dimension of a vector. The number of elements in the vector is the dimension of the vector. Okay, according to the number of elements we can have the dimension. If you have 2 numbers, it is 2-dimension vector. If it is 3 numbers, elements are, it have a 3-dimension vector. Now we define addition of vectors. consider two vectors x and y which are n vectors, okay, and whose components are the sums of the corresponding components of x and y. Two vectors can be added or subtracted when their dimensions are same, okay. Then only if the dimensions same, then only addition and subtraction is possible. For example, x having x1, x2, etc. xn, n elements, y is equal to y1, y2, etc. yn, n elements are both having the same dimensions n. So we have to add these two vectors x and y, that is x plus y. We have x1 is added with y1, x2 is added with y2, etc. xn is added with yn. Now x plus y is equal to x1 plus y1, x2 plus y2 plus etc. plus xn plus yn. Okay, so dimensions are same, addition or subtraction is possible. Now we will see scalar multiplication of a vector. Scalar multiple kx of n vector x by scalar k is the n vector whose components are the products by k of the components of x. That is, the vector x having n elements and that is multiplied by a scalar k, okay, that is multiplied by the scalar k, then the n x vector multiplied by the scalar whose components are the products by k of the components of x. For example, if x is equal to x1, x2, etc. xn, and then you have to multiply that x with k. So each and this x is multiplied by k. So each and every element of x1, x2, etc. xn is multiplied by k. Then we get the scalar multiple of x. Next we will see linear combination of vectors. Let x1, x2, etc. xn be n vectors, and k1, k2, these are the n vectors, and k1, k2, etc. kn be n scalars. Okay, these are n scalars. Then k1, k2, etc. kn be n scalars. Then the linear combination of vectors by scalar is defined as k1 x1 plus k2 x2 plus k3 x3 plus etc. plus kn xn. Now we will see another definition, linear dependence of vectors. A set of vectors x1, x2, etc. xn is said to be linearly dependent if there exist scalars k1, k2, etc. kn corresponding to x1, x2, etc. xn such that their linear combination k1 x1 plus k2 x2 plus k3 x3 plus etc. plus kn xn is equal to 0. And one thing you should remember, not all 0. Here not all the terms are 0. At least one of the scalars must be non-zero. That is, either k1 is not equal to 0 or k2 is not equal to 0 or kn is not equal to 0. At least one element should be not equal to 0, and that you should remember. And then another method for checking linear dependence of vector is for small matrices. If 2 by 2 matrix or 3 by 3 matrix, then you have to find out determinant A of that matrix which is equal to 0. Then we say that it is linearly dependent. Now we will see another definition. What is a linear independence of vectors? The set of vectors x1, x2, etc. xn are said to be linearly independent if the linear combination k1 x1 plus k2 x2 plus k3 x3 plus etc. plus kn xn is equal to 0, which implies that the scalars k1, k2, etc. kn must be equal to 0. All the terms should be all the terms should be individually equal to 0. Then we say that the vectors are linearly independent. Another method, or easiest method for small matrices is when you finding the determinant A which is not equal to 0, then we say that the vectors are linearly independent. Matrix representation of vectors. Suppose you have the three vectors, x is equal to x1, x2, x3, y is equal to y1, y2, y3, and z is equal to z1, z2, z3. And these three row vectors are represented in a matrix by as A is equal to x, y, z, which is equal to x1, x2, x3. That is the row vectors you have, that is written row wise, and y is also written row wise, y1, y2, y3, and z is also written as row wise, z1, z2, z. This is the representation. And one thing you should remember here, if the vectors are given as column vectors, then you have to convert it into row vectors, then you have to write that in the matrix form. Next we will see linear dependence and independence of vectors by using matrix representation of vectors. Using matrix representation, how to find out the linear independence or dependence of vectors. Procedure we will see. Suppose x, y, z be the given vectors. Then first step, you have to write the matrix as the vectors as matrix representation. Then first step is write the matrix representation of vectors, that is A is equal to x, y, z. After that, next step is you have to reduce the matrix A to its echelon form. And next step is, first, if the number of non-zero rows of echelon form is equal to the number of given vectors, then the vectors are linearly independent. If the number of non-zero rows of echelon form is less than the number of given vectors, then the vectors are linearly dependent. This is the way you have to check whether the given vectors are linearly independent or dependent. That's it for this video. If you have any